Hey, Gila, happy summer.
Hey, thank you. I'm really enjoying being out here on the beach. It feels fantastic. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I'm up here in Canada. Look at Whistler is behind me. It is just glorious here.
It is.
Hey, Gila, you teach people to facilitate meetings and design instruction. I design instruction and teach people online and in person. What are we talking about today?
So, I would love to talk about a pet peeve that I've got. And that pet peeve is people calling themselves facilitators when they're really lecturers or content experts. Um, does that bring up anything for you right now? Because I want to really get into this.
I think that's a fantastic topic because we work with content experts who know a ton and we need to get that information out of them. But we also work with rooms full of really smart people who have tons of lived experience and we want to draw that information out of them. And so it seems really practical for us to be clear, when are we teaching and when are we facilitating?
And the hard thing that you've just said right there is that teaching is a hybrid. It puts together both the skills of facilitation and the skills of being a content expert. And I think that's why some of us get confused. And the dangers of being confused are tamping down the group energy and the group insight. So what I'd like to do is just take a look at three hats that we as trainers typically wear. Not only as trainers, because I think the pure facilitation hat is totally different than training. So in the pure facilitation model, all you're doing is extracting information from the people in the group. You're drawing out their wisdom. You don't have to know anything about what they're talking about. I've facilitated scientific gatherings and had no clue. But what they wanted was somebody who had content expertise in group process, because they wanted a completely equal playing field where there was nobody dominant, where everyone shared their ideas without being fearful, et cetera, et cetera. So the skills of a facilitator are really profound. There are two other hats, though. One is presenting, and that's pure content delivery in the classic model, and training, which combines both this extraction of the group's wisdom and expressing or delivering content. And we're always juggling those two things as a trainer. It's super important to know when we're playing each of those roles, though.
I think
So,
it's really interesting to think then about the group that you're teaching and what level of cohesion do they need? How much trust do they need to have with each other? How much do they need to share a common goal? Because when you're facilitating, people typically have a common goal of what they're trying to get out of it. Whereas when people show up for a training, they may be coming with all different goals. And so that's a difference in the two.
yeah, and I just want to bring in that second hat of presenting, that if you choose to totally present to a group with no cohesion, they will never get cohesion. That's why it's so important to use those skills of facilitation to build the ability to problem solve and collaborate in your training group. So it's important, even though it's difficult, to know which hat you've got on at all times. Am I solely facilitating, extracting information? Am I solely delivering, or am I doing both? And let's keep the boundaries very clear if we're doing both.
And it seems really important that we're clear so that we don't get it wrong. Because if we get it wrong, then we may not be achieving what we set out to achieve. We may be minimizing the content knowledge that actually needs to be delivered. We're talking in terms of facilitation, but we're not honoring the amount of actual content knowledge that people need. And so that means we're not going to get to the outcomes that we want. That when we aren't thinking in terms of those hats, then we're not able to draw the best, everything we know about teaching and facilitating and training, right?
Yeah, so I just summarize our short conversation out here wearing sunglasses in this way. Know what hat you're wearing and why at all parts of your learning experience. And that's
Awesome.
it from me right now.
That's fantastic. Have a great rest of the beautiful sunny day that you're in.
Thank you, Nancy. See you next time.
Next time.